Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Court-Martail Podcast. Introducing your host for this evening first. He is the host with the most from the West Coast, the Bay Area Brawler, Skylar Greenberg. And his partner, he has colonized, energized, and revolutionized the podcasting wrestling world today. Your colonial champion, Sean McCarty. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the Court-Martail Podcast, the hottest podcast in all of YouTube and all the internets. Yeah, right. I am your colonial champion, Sean McCarty. Not necessarily going it alone, but going it without my co-host, who I have jettisoned in order to bring you another review. That's right, folks. As advertised, we're getting the review of Monday Night Raw from last week, competing with Monday Night Raw of this week for your time, unless you're watching it on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But in any case, you're going to hear a first-hand account as well as a couple other things going on. And to do that with me is my boy, Abizzle. You hear it all the time in the music that we promote every single week. Abizzle, welcome back to the show, my man.
Fuck, dude.
How you doing?
Feeling good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. It's great to have you here, of course, once again, to give us a recount, but this time, not of Smackdown, but the NBC Universal-owned show, Monday Night Raw. And you got to go now. You went with the same guy, right?
Yep, same guys. Had another friend added on. A friend of mine that actually went with me to Smackdown back in the day.
Yep.
That was the first show we ever saw in wrestling. Mm-hmm. And now, he came along to Raw this time to see how it is now.
Well, it's, and before we get into this review, we have a special new segment. And that new segment is JoshAgeddon's pay-per-view report. Because the show that you watched was the Raw after WrestleMania Backlash.
Yep.
So, because Skylar and I have completely cast aside, and you want to talk about actually jettisoning, we made modern wrestling walk the plank. And we knocked it off, and we let the alligator from Peter Pan go and eat it and chase it down Neverland, and it's gone as far as our reviewing of said pay-per-view. So, we have sent our correspondent out in the field. Well, you're the correspondent out in the field. This is more of our, weather guy.
Word.
JoshAgeddon the Weather Raven. It's a working title. I can do better. Anyway, he's got a report, and we do not have an intro for this yet. But the more we do, the more he will get an intro package. JoshAgeddon's pay-per-view report. All right. He's going to love that. Greetings, CMP listeners. The Colonial Champion, Sean McCarty. The Bay Area Brawler, Skylar Greenberg, who's not here. And Abizzle.
Howdy.
See, he even mentioned you.
Hey.
You're already best of friends.
We're at home.
Seeing how Sean and Skylar have abandoned the grotesque, weary, and battle-scarred wasteland known as modern wrestling. And can you blame them? Have you seen this shit recently? Which you will speak on in a moment. They refused to watch Backlash 22, and I'm not fucking calling it WrestleMania Backlash because that's fucking dumb. I, on the other hand, gave the pay-per-view, and I don't know whether you know this, they're not called pay-per-views anymore. They're called premium live events.
Oh.
Yeah.
That sounds so much better.
Yeah. Wow. Definitely more marketable.
I could pay for that.
Yeah. I could spend $115 a ticket for that.
Take my money.
For my nosebleeds. And for the foreseeable future, whenever there's a wrestling pay-per-view, that we still don't call it premium live events. We just make fun of the fact that it's called a premium live event. And still just call it pay-per-views. And for the foreseeable future, when there's a wrestling pay-per-view that catches my interest that the CMP team couldn't give a fuck about, I will be the one who gives a fuck about it. Or at least enough of a fuck about it to quench the thirst of quivering anuses, (anusi, plural?
Anusi, I believe.
Anusi, it sounds more accurate.
Yeah.
At home listening. So, my thoughts on Backlash 2022, also my pay-per-view reports won't be as long-winded as my legendary distasteful notes on pay-per-view reviews. Don't want to waste too much time. These guys have other more pertinent shit to discuss, like, last week's Raw.
Right.
And also, to prove your point, JoshAgeddon, 2 single-spaced pages is not short-winded either. Love you, bro. Glad that English degree is working for you.
English.
Cody Rhodes versus Seth Waluigi #2.
Ah.
Very good match, and even better than their Mania match, which was the best match of 38. Bite me, Skylar. The story was basically Seth anticipating Cody's moves, saying, I wasn't prepared for you at Mania since I didn't know I was wrestling you specifically, but I am now ready for you. These two have great chemistry, although there was a spot where Seth did the roll-through superplex and attempted to do a Falcon Arrow, which Cody countered. Therefore, no selling the superplex Seth gave him. They always do that. They always do that. That's not a surprise. That is poopy. Conversely, Cody gave Seth a gorgeous delayed vertical superplex, which was the move of the match. The finish was Seth going for a roll-up with the tights, which Cody countered into his own roll-up with the tights, giving Seth a taste of his own medicine for the win. Great match, better than Mania, and in retrospect, the match of the show.
Oh, I remember that.
That's what they led with.
That's what they showed in the preview.
Yeah, that's what they led with. Oh, right, because Cody Rhodes was wrestling Theory at the end of Raw, right? That was the match you got?
Yep.
And so that was that matchup. So Cody and Seth Waluigi. His real name is Seth Rollins, but I like the idea of superimposing Seth Rollins' head on Waluigi's face because he literally does go like, wah,
oh, yes, I remember this laugh.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
So we call him Seth Waluigi.
That works. Yeah. Oh, God. Good connect.
That's right. All right. The next match. Bobby Lashley versus Nigerian Guyan Gonzalez 2, which is Omos.
Oh, yes.
Did we have to run back this shit show? No, we did not. Believe it or not, this match was not as bad as their Mania match. It wasn't good, mind you, but not so bad that I wanted to carve my eyeballs out with my cat's vibrator.
Word.
Just want to let that sink in, let that have, because this is where Skylar would say something like, oh my God, blah, blah. Anyway.
Word.
Love you, Sky. Unfortunately, Omos got the win after MVP hit Bobby in the eye with his cane while the ref was distracted. Bobby Lashley deserves better. I agree. Bobby Lashley shouldn't be mixed up with this dude. Doesn't make no sense.
Yep.
Edge versus AJ Styles 2. A running theme during this show was that the Mania rematches were actually better than the original Mania matches, which is, I guess, why they called WrestleMania Backlash. Because WrestleMania got so much backlash that they needed to redeem themselves with a better show. Maybe. Leading up to this match, Edge and Damian Priest injured AJ Styles' arm, so AJ's arm was the focal point of the contest. The fact that this was the same arm and shoulder that Edge injured during his Rumble 2020 return was actually part of the story and mentioned on commentary, which surprised me. Unfortunately, Kevin Dunn missed the spear Edge gave AJ because he was too busy playing a replay. Kevin Dunn is the guy who does all the actual cuts, and he's been there for 30 years.
Wow.
And there used to be a time when he was decent, but now he just makes up mistakes. But he's got a job for life because his dad saved the tape library for Vince's dad.
Oh.
So Vince is like, you have a job permanently. And he's got buck teeth.
Oh.
And he's a beaver.
Okay, dokie then.
Yeah. So that just to give you lay the groundwork for this next line. Fuck you, beaver boy. Fuck you.
Oh. Okay.
Then Damien appeared at ringside despite being banned. Finn Balor jumped him, distracting the ref, and allowed a hooded figure to cost AJ the match to Edge, who got AJ to pass out to the crossface. The hooded figure was Rhea Ripley, who desperately needs something to do at this point. Rhea Ripley, I'm sure she probably was on the show. She was with Edge in Edge's group. Goth woman, yes.
Yes. She was the match of the night.
Yeah.
Versus the other female.
Yes. We will get to Rhea Ripley. Oh God. Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey, an I Quit match for the SmackDown Women's title.
Yes.
Once again, this was better than their Mania match. However, this was largely because they were able to smoke and mirrors Ronda's shittiness with weapons and crowd bawling. But still, I hate both of these women, so I don't fucking care, and neither should you. Woo. Especially Ronda Rousey. Fuck Ronda Rousey. And that's written, folks. That isn't from me. Not that I disagree with the sentiment. Also, Ronda won, because of course she did.
Ooh.
There we go. Madcap Moss versus Happy Corbin. This was a Raw match and was the definition of bleh. Corbin is the most blah, ho-hum, milquetoast wrestler. That's not how you spell milquetoast, JoshAgeddon. Surprisingly. Milquetoast wrestler on this goddamn planet. Madcap won with a roll-up, didn't care. Then, the main event. The Bloodline versus RK Bro and Big Daddy Drew McIntyre. Fuck WWE for teasing a title unification match and pulling it the week before the show. Please unify these useless tag belts for the love of God. And while you're at it, unify the women's belts, unify the US and Intercontinental belts, and drop the 24/7 belt into the lake of fire and burning sulfur where it belongs. End this brand split or stop budget cutting your talent to death. Also, this was a solid and entertaining 6-man match. What a change of tone. Fuck this, guys, fuck this. Also, this was a good match. This was a solid and entertaining 6-man match, but nothing to really write home about. Since a grand total of none of the belts were on the line, this match had no real drama or stakes. Randy Orton was the most insanely over person in this match and on this whole show, and to the surprise of no one.
Rand Ortiz.
Ravens defeated Riddle with a spear, decent main event. The final thoughts. To say this show is better than WrestleMania Night 2, 38, 41 hike, is saying having a cold is better than dying from pneumonia. I don't see how a show could be worse than Mania Night 2, though, and I still have nightmares about it as we speak, and I'll never be the same. Backlash, on the other hand, was a decent B-show that was very missable, and nothing of note was really accomplished. It's more a storyline progression show, which is fine. The bait and switch of the title unification was a stick move, though, WWE. I'd recommend the Cody vs. Seth rematch, as it was head and shoulders above everything else on the card. Backlash 22 gets a 6 out of 10 from your boy JoshAgeddon.
Word.
So there's the context. And now we move on to the main event. And that is your review of Raw the night afterwards. How did they keep this wildly good momentum that they clearly have going in the XL Center? So let's start with talking about the overall of the show and setting the stage as far as what the XL Center was like.
So yeah, entering the place, car parking was fine. We got in really well. Merchandise was there. It was the same shirt that I got in Brooklyn, but in green, and it said Hartford on it. So I didn't buy it. Actually, the skull on the back was white, but the smoke coming out the eyes were green.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like,
but it was another Steve Austin shirt. Yeah.
Yep.
Because they're going to milk this Steve Austin thing for as long as they goddamn can now that he had a matchup.
I was going to buy it, but $35, I just couldn't do it.
I hear you.
So I didn't buy anything for merch
$35 shirt.
I was like, I'll just waste my money on food because I know it's going to be expensive.
You know what's sad, though, is that the $35 shirt would have had the 7% Connecticut state tax on it. So, like, imagine how much that would have actually cost. That would have probably been more like $48.
Oh, my God.
When it finally got said and done.
But,
that's not accurate math, but you get the idea, folks.
But, like, we enter there. As soon as we open the doors to the arena, all you can hear is random, woo! And then the whole audience would go, woo! All night.
That dude was paid.
I loved it. Dude, I even started when I went, woo!
Gary,
and everyone said, woo!
Garrett, that's interesting.
Everyone kept wooing.
So the energy was definitely different on this show than Brooklyn, you'd say.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Brooklyn was there, it was packed, but, like, Hartford brought the energy, man.
Wow.
I was like, yo, we need to do a show there.
Yes.
We need to do a show there. And that audience was ready.
And we'll get to the plug soon enough, folks. We're going to get there somewhere in the middle. So,
shoot. But damn, so the energy was there. I got some dope fries and a what did I get?
How was the food in comparison?
Better and cheaper.
Better? Well, from Brooklyn, from a place like the Barclays, where the city's just going to be...
It's going to be expensive.
Expensive regardless.
So this was a little more affordable, which was nice. I didn't get a drink, I don't think. I just got, like, the freaking burger and fries, but, like, the fries were mad on point. The burger was okay. It was eatable. I wasn't mad. I spent, like, $6 on it, maybe.
All right, that's not bad, though.
It's not bad.
That's not bad for
fries
a burger.
are $4.
I mean, you get what you get.
Yeah. So
that really actually isn't bad.
Right?
I would have thought that for the XL Center that it would have been a little bit more expensive.
Yeah.
But it's not bad at all.
It felt like a, like if you go to a fair and they got like those freaking teenagers in the back, because it's the same setup. I was like, all right, word.
I mean, that sounds like Connecticut.
Good job, CT. Keeping it straight to the way
you know what? Knowing how it's done.
Yep.
Passable burgers, killer fries.
So yeah, so we hop in there. The arena looks really nice. It's
What time did
cozy.
you get there?
We got there. Doors open. Show's time was at what, 7?
7.
We got there at. There was a clock. Hold on, let me.
Oh, like a countdown clock?
Yeah, there was a countdown clock, right?
Oh, there you go.
Can we see that? It looks like sim language.
Oh yeah,
like
that's
alien.
hard to read.
But we watched the clock all night, and it was like, it's 11 o'clock. They're still doing matches. But,
Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about that too, because we'll definitely talk about that, because I bet you that they were filming another one of their shows. And see, once again, this is where Skyler would really come in handy, because he'd be the one to tell you, he'd know what was happening after that. Unfortunately, my results only go until the end of the show, at least the ones that I'm looking at.
Yep.
So I'm imagining that what they did was tape some other match, some other show that they've got, maybe main event, if they're still doing main event. Skyler, we miss you. Stop being unavailable at the times that we record.
So like we get there a little early. The show time's like maybe 7, I think. That was when the show starts. We got there at maybe 6:30. So there was a decent amount of time.
So you were in there way well, because like from the looks of some of the photos I saw online, it was pretty empty in Hartford, at least in that spot. But like you were saying to me before the show that they actually filled it up really nicely.
Yeah, a lot of people trickled in when the show started really getting underway.
So like a fashionably late entrance.
Oh yeah, a lot of Connecticut's are fashionably late, I see.
Well, and I also think because they know that the first 20 minutes of Raw is probably going to be like a dialogue segment that goes.
It was a recap of Backlash, what we just listened to.
So they know that they weren't really listening. They're not going to miss anything by showing up late. We got a good 20 minutes to kill before we really have to be there for anything to happen.
Some seasoned watchers, some seasoned goers, I think.
Yeah. Well, they knew what. So that's the thing, is that it's really hard to attract a casual audience back to WWE, or like people who don't normally go. With the exception of like a couple people like you who trickle in. But, like, at large, most of the people going to Raw have been to a lot of Raws.
Yeah, some super fans, man.
Yeah,
dude,
it's the hardcores. It's the hardcore audience that WWE has amassed, even though that number is also dwindling. But apparently 2.5 million people still watch the show. So they're still getting some level of ratings.
Yeah, I would... I'll give my review of Raw versus Smackdown at the end, I guess.
Yeah, if you want to do like a comparative thing at the very end, we can talk about that afterwards. Because there's certain formatic differences. Like Raw is 3 hours long, as opposed to 2 hours long with SmackDown.
Yep.
One is red, the other is blue. Was the set the exact same? Was the setup of what they put up and the lights and the trons?
No, slightly different. I think they got like the more vertical lines, where I think SmackDown had the more rounded, arena. Like
in the way the set was built.
Yeah, this one was more of a flat kind of thing with the screen. The screen felt much bigger too. Yeah.
That could just be from the arena, like what they're able to put up in the arena. But that's an interesting thought, though.
The stage. I don't know. The stage felt smaller. It felt a lot smaller in there. But that could be also what they could do.
It could, because like Barclays is a bigger arena than the XL Center.
Yep.
Just want to put that in perspective. I know Connecticut's a small state. It's no surprise that Connecticut's one of the smallest states. Like, we got the XL Center. We're extra large. It's like, Connecticut, calm down. Like, so you comfy. Are what you are.
It's a very comfy arena. I'll do a nice comfy show on a couch. It'll be great. Oh, man.
Yeah, you were mentioning that the seats are actually quite comfortable as well.
Seats were alright. Seats were okay. They were
better than Barclays?
Pretty on par with the same. I mean, with Barclays Center, it's like there was a fall to your death in front of me. With this one, there was like a very nice guy.
You had a row of people you could crash into first before you go to okay.
Yeah,
all right.
I could jump onto some people and then get back to the ground floor.
Yeah, that definitely helps.
Instead of plummet.
Having that cushion is vital. When you get that emergency situation and you just gotta all right, I don't have to jump right over the top. I could tumble across a few people and find some stairs or something. All right.
So that was nice. I appreciate it. That was a plus, But the arena I think was the same, except it was red, and it was red. That was it. That was the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That sounds right. Now, it occurred to me that one of the things that's altering your perception of the show and what's good and what's not good is that you do not have to listen to the commentary. Because the commentary, well, sometimes. But there's some things that they say that are just the worst. And I think that it's probably a better experience live than it is watching it on TV for that reason alone. It's just, it's not even Jimmy Smith that's the problem. It's the fact that Corey Graves and Byron Saxton can't stop bickering at each other.
Really?
Yeah.
That was going on?
That's constant.
No.
Because Corey Graves is the heel who has to, pick apart Saxton stuff.
Oh.
But instead of, doing it to build up the guy, he's more just knocking down Saxton. And Saxton, fights back, and everyone's like, oh, that banter's great. It's not great.
Oh, man.
It's bad. Because it doesn't do anything to promote the talent. It doesn't help the talent get over by doing that. Mm-hmm. You're just acting outrageous to get yourself over. And I don't like that from my commentary.
I feel that, man. I wish I had more, I wish I had more video, but I had no battery.
No, it's all good.
I just took pictures, so I'm just looking at photos of people now.
Well, let's start this show.
Let's get it.
Because they open up with a big old package.
Yep.
Then the first match that we get is the Street Profits versus RK Bro.
It wasn't Reggie?
That might have been a dark match.
Was that a dark match?
Did we get Reggie?
We had Reggie versus this man with the vest that looks like Conor McGregor.
That almost looks like Donovan Dijakovic, but I don't think so. I'm actually surprised that this review here doesn't have it. And this is, once again, where Sky comes...
the back of his head. Do you recognize him? From the back of his head?
That does kind of look like Dijakovic, but I can't imagine that they put him in a dark match. You know what? Give me 1 second.
T-Dog. It's T-Dog.
Yeah, I think that is who that is.
Oh, is that who that is?
I think that is Dijakovic.
Yeah, they call him T-Dog. And I think freaking T-Dog won.
Let's see. Reggie versus T-Dog. Let's see if I can find that. Okay. Reggie can't believe it. Well, what can't he believe? The fact that he lost? Here we go. This is... Alright, so from a different one, we have... So this is recap. This is recap. Recap. They must come up later. They must come up later. I'm still looking through this and scrolling. See, Skylar would have this all taken care of. Mm-hmm. So apologies for the research here. And this is just crashing my computer, so you're done.
Word.
You're done.
Well, I mean, Reggie came out. He was flipping and twisting and dodging old T-Dog.
Yep.
And T-Dog was just trying to get him. But Reggie kept dodging, but then T-Dog got him and pinned him, and T-Dog won. I think. Yeah. I believe so. Maybe. I don't remember. Let me see here.
God, this is such a long show.
Yeah, I think T-Dog won that one. He lost his vest. Then it was Apollo Crews.
Yeah, so you've got stuff that's coming on later on, definitely.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Unless this was the first things you saw, if you can recall. Because, what happened? This is all happening before Street Profits and RK Bro.
Yep.
Right? Okay.
Unless Nope, yep. Yeah, there was,
Because I know you got photos of RK Bro from what you were showing me before.
Yep.
So maybe this is just when it starts on the actual television.
Yep.
Is Street Profits and RK Bro. Because I bet you didn't get any commercials prior to that match happening.
No, they were just going in straight matches. It was just straight back to back. So Apollo Crews came out with this big ass general-looking dude.
Commander Aziz.
Commander freaking Aziz over here. And their big old staff looking like it's from Thor Ragnarok.
You know what that staff is? Is he still carrying that staff?
Yeah, look at him.
Oh my God. You know what that staff looks like? It's like a vase. It's like a broomstick duct taped to a vase. I remember that stuff. I can't believe he's still holding that.
Yep.
That's so funny.
And I think he battled against Akira Tozawa.
Akira Tozawa. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That sounds great. That sounds like a match I would love. How was it?
There he is, stepping out there.
How was it?
I can't say I remember it, but it was fast, I think. He was like trying to battle against the guy, but the general ended up interfering, and I think he ended up losing because of the interference. I believe that's what happened, but I don't remember.
Boy, is that not an indictment on Apollo Crews and Akira Tozawa?
Now, I will say I had way more alcohol this time going to this event.
Okay.
So I was a lot gone.
All right, I was going to ask about that. State of mind? But that's also kind of an indictment on Raw because that's the only way you can find any enjoyment out of it.
Dude, but it was good. It was a good match.
What did you have? What was
I had like freaking 2 ciders, 2 wine coolers, and 2 tequila margarita.
Oh my God.
Jose Cuervos.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. You're just going all over the road here. You're just like hopping train to train. Like, all right.
We were going to Raw.
Yeah,
ready.
that was something.
That was.
That's how you feel the next morning.
You know what? I didn't even feel too bad.
Nice.
Everything was quite light.
Very nice.
Because I kind of layered out the drink, and I didn't drink it all at the event. I just ate.
There you go. Well, that's a smart way to go about it. Pre-game to get there.
I did have 1 beer.
How much was the beer in comparison to the Barclays Center?
I don't know. I was given the beer. It was a free beer.
Oh, free beer.
Free beer.
Can't be mad with free beer.
It was like a pale ale, tall can, green. I don't remember what kind, but it was beer.
Look for that beer. That's what happens when you don't pay us to do the advertising. You get that kind of description. So, sponsors out there, if you want the same kind of plug that ABPCT gets, you're gonna and with an actual bottle title and actual description beyond its green and a can and beer. You know what to do. And pale ale. So follow the money and figure out which one that is, folks. Anyway.
Oh man. Then Corey
Graves. Oh yeah, Corey Graves and Saxton show up at the booth, right?
Yep, they pop out. And then Arcade Bros. At that point, I went to get food.
So we start the match with food. Well, you got the package, though. So your package took you a while. So did you come back in the middle of this tag match? Or had they just started coming out? Because their entrances take forever.
Yeah, so as they were starting to come out, I got the food. I got a photo of them coming out. Did I get a little video of them? Oh, yeah. And then the Street Profits come out with Arcade Bro, and they're talking crap.
Now,
they're talking junk to each other.
Let me ask you this.
Nasty ass boy with no shoes on.
Was the Street Profits... What do you think of the Street Profits?
Put some fucking shoes on.
Who didn't have shoes on?
What's his name? In Arcade Bro.
Riddle. Yeah. Right. Riddle. No, that's like his thing.
I know. Nasty.
His thing. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Some damn shoes on.
So Riddle, if you're listening,
put some damn shoes on.
Put some shoes on. Or at least those foot shoes. You know, the ones that the ones that Dallas wears, DDP wears during the workouts. They're like those amphibious slippers. Mm-hmm. They're like those socks that basically mold to your toes.
Yep.
And get some of those amphibians. If you got those amphibians, honestly, wouldn't hate it. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't hurt his gimmick any.
Yeah.
It would just protect his feet so he doesn't get hookworms and shit.
Yeah, throw some gaiters on, fool.
Yeah. Crocs.
There you go.
Matt Riddle went from shoeless to Crocs.
Then they can market it to the kids. They can market it to the kids. The kids are buying the freaking Riddler Crocs.
You're right. The Riddle Crocs.
There you go.
There's
a free one.
That's funny.
That's a free.
There you go. That's character development right there.
Free character
That's gimmick development. Riddle gets some shoes. That should be the next story of how Orton. That should be how Orton and Riddle split from each other. Orton's just insistent, dude, get some goddamn shoes.
Yep.
And Riddle's like, nah, bro. I like being on a scooter barefoot. And he'll be like, all right, I'm going to kill you. Because that's Randy Orton.
That's it. Okay, guys have to kill you now. Fine.
So...
And just before he RKOs him to death, he's like, okay, fine. What do you want me to wear? Can't some Crocs. Put these on.
These Crocs. Put these
I like
on.
These. He starts liking them.
And it's actually just, with WWE's, short attention span, they can just reunite after that, and then they're just back to being a tag team.
Nope.
Because that's WWE.
Randy gave him some Crocs. He's like, I like these Crocs.
All right, they hug it out, and then now they're back together. the shortest breakup in the history of tag teams.
RKOing him.
Literally just about the shoes.
Oh, God.
That's right, Riddle gets no offense in at all. Just Orton just with a beatdown.
RKO's.
Just
he gets the table out. He's about to take him and drop him from a ladder and RKO.
Because Orton's just... Because then Orton could just be like targeting the feet the whole time. Like literally just stomping his feet. So like Riddle can't even stand. It's like, this is why you wear shoes. You don't take as much damage when you're...
Oh my God.
You know, there we go. You're welcome, WWE. Take that. And speaking of fantasy booking, next week, ACPW has their show, May Melee, pay-per-view show. Skylar has his May show that is yet to be named until he actually gives me the slideshow. ACPW and NWL plus ad drops. We're adding people, we're dropping people, we're going to the top, and we're stomping people. Be there next week.
Woo.
So tell me about this match. What did this do for you?
It was a fun match because the audience really, really liked Randy Orton. It was a fun time to see this. People were freaking the freak out, man. It was crazy. And Randy was eating it up. He was just like, oh, yeah, you love me. I'm so good. Oh.
So you'd say that Orton was definitely like the most over guy of the four.
Oh, yeah.
So what kind of reaction did the Street Profits have? Like, what was your like thought of them?
They were okay. You know what I said when they came out? Hey, guys, it's crime time.
But a PG crime time.
Yeah,
That's like just parties and solo cups.
And I was like, these guys are going to get their ass kicked. And then they got their ass kicked.
The way it should be.
Yep.
The way it should be. Fuck the Street Profits. I call them shitty and poopy.
Yep.
For Street Profits.
I just enjoyed the last final freaking... Oh, they did a freaking RKO to be a 2-minute RKO. I think that's
been their thing lately. They've been trying to do the RKO, the dub tandem RKOs. Did they pin both of them or just one of them?
Nope, just one of them. One of them they knocked out of the ring, I think, and then they tagged, did that move, pinned him. I have voices in my head. And everyone freaking out.
Yep.
That was great. And then just freaking Randy's face just going, ah! Ah!
If only there were more teams in this tag division for them to face. Because that's like the saddest part about it is that like RK Bro is actually popular with WWE fans. You know, most people just don't care for Riddle. Like they like Orton, but they just don't care for Riddle. But they're like, all right, well Orton's with him and it's not bad. So,
dude, I'm mad. I was sad that I had to leave the main event for Berkeley so we could beat traffic, which was RK Bro. So I was like happy to see him actually do a match. I was like, okay.
So apparently one of the things we missed was on the microphone, you could hear Riddle say, RK Bro 420 says, we just smoked your asses.
Yes, I heard that. I heard them yell that very lightly. Yep.
So there was that, so they had that, and of course, because Riddle's gimmick is weed and sounding like a toddler.
Yep.
He'd be like, if
weed boss baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Take notes, Alec Baldwin. And... So that's what did you think of the solo cups coming down when they stopped, during the Street Profits entrance?
Solo cups?
Yeah, they rained down solo cups apparently.
They rained down solo cups?
Yeah, I said, wow.
I didn't realize those were raining down.
But you see, here's the problem. They only rain down on them. They don't rain down in the arena.
Yeah, no.
So nobody gets one, which is hence my point. Why do that?
I didn't even realize I was looking at the screen and they were like, Street Profits. I didn't realize solo cups were falling.
If it's not like, here's the thing, if it's not like, remember when JBL won the belt and they had the JBL dollars that fell all down and you got a dollar that had JBL's head on it? Yeah, I have one of those dollars, by the way. That's where they were giving something to people, right? This was not that. This is just solo cups falling down on the ramp. Like, what's the point of doing that? You're just making a mess for the custodian. Like, stop that. That's just littering.
They should make them like some kind of neon color because I didn't even see it.
Yeah, and then actually, give them to people. Yeah. Not sell them to people. Because who's going to buy a solo cup with the Street Profits autograph
on it? Pick one up, look at the audience and throw one in the audience and start picking them up and throwing them.
Now, let me ask you this. Were there breaks in the action the same way there were on Smackdown as far as the matches taking place? Because there was...
that was a big note I noticed. There was way less breaks. Way less breaks.
So the breaks but they were not mid-match where people were going back to the corner.
Yeah, no.
So they were wrestling actually in between the alleged supposed commercials here, because there was at least one commercial, if not one, two.
There was like maybe 3 or 4.
In this match alone. In this match alone, there was 2 commercial breaks.
Damn. Yeah, no.
And
the whole match, and then
so you saw all of it. So it went all the way through.
There were only a few times where like they did their entrance, and there was a small like everything went dark, and there was a commercial,
right?
Know? But like there wasn't anything mid-match when they were fighting, and then they stopped mid-match, or there was a duel, like someone was attacking them before the match started, and then a break. That didn't happen at all.
Now, see, that's fascinating.
And like the show flowed so much better at Raw, like.
That's fascinating.
Right? The 2 hours just felt like more time, but there was way more like breaks, and we're just like, alrighty.
Now that's really interesting, because I wonder if that has to be about like Fox Network executives asking for that.
Right? Or just
or how much? Yeah, well, that's so strange.
To do ads or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's so strange.
But that was like there was way less breaks in the match for that 3 hours.
Because I remember that being like a course of debate like 3 or 4 years ago when they said, no, we're not going to do that anymore. Like have matches in between commercials.
Yeah.
And that got an uproar from the wrestling community because they're like, well, then what's that? You're not actually doing wrestling matches then. You're just doing half a match, breaking, and then coming back and doing a half match. Like, that's just
that was
stupid.
Smackdown, but Raw, they didn't do that. We finished the matches out.
Fascinating. That's weird. That's very interesting.
Right? Yeah.
We'll have to maybe see some research into that. That's an intriguing difference between the two. So RK Bro win. Everyone goes banana. Then we get the package about Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins again.
Right. Yep.
They say that Cody Rhodes in theory is going to begin at 10. And then Kevin Patrick is on the stage and welcomes Theory to a promo.
Yep.
What did you think of Theory's promo?
Oh, and Edge and then White. I gotta show you this video I took. It's just the way Edge walks out. He looks like freaking Emperor Palpatine. It's just funny. It's so funny.
Yeah. Well, before you get to that, because this Theory promo happens right before this.
Yep.
And he says, he's already
said a lot.
Yeah. I honestly think that Theory can talk. And people were booing him throughout this. It sounded like. How thunderous were the boos for Theory?
Theory's is that the name of Edge's like group?
No, he was the one that Cody Rhodes faced.
Oh.
Or Austin Theory, but this was like his promo before Edge and Ripley came out.
So, that's the weird thing. People really didn't react to the video stuff on the screen. They only reacted to like the people when they came out on stage.
Well, it sounded like Kevin Patrick was on the stage, but maybe he was actually just in a video package. But it sounded like the Theory came out here. I did not watch this show again. And see, it's so funny because I get so much shit from Skylar for moments exactly like this. Because he'll make the chance every time he can on next show. You watch, folks. You tune in next week. I'm going to introduce Skylar and he's going to say, because you can't handle this shit on your own. I promise you he's going to say these, maybe not the exact words, but he's going to do it in the way that he's going to give me shit for. And he's absolutely right to do so.
But, yeah, they did a big package, so...
Big package.
Did they go against Edge and his crew at all?
No, because he's a heel. But we'll move on from that because he talks trash, he takes a selfie, and the boos...
Oh, selfie guy.
Yes.
Selfie guy.
Selfie guy.
I forgot about him. Yes,
yeah.
He came out, he spoke a little bit, people booed. It was, he took a selfie, and...
That was it.
Yeah, no one really cared.
Yeah.
No one was really moved and fazed by it because I think they already freaked out over Randy Orton, so they're just like...
Sure, yeah, probably gassed a little bit.
Yep, so it was like, oh, selfie guy, okay. And I just forgot, I totally forgot.
It's a shame, though, because Theory's actually pretty good, but he's just been stuck with this grumble fuck Vince McMahon shit, which has just been tough.
His thing is selfies?
His thing is selfies.
Okay.
Basically.
Gotcha.
He can talk, I mean, he's a dick, but like...
Yep.
He's a good wrestler, I like his wrestling, it's just...
Yeah.
He's a selfie guy.
And he fought Cody Rhodes.
Later on, yes.
Later on in the match.
But then we get Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest, and Edge. And they pose on the apron as we go to commercial.
Yup. I remember that. They did.
They tell me about Edge
here. You guys see this. I'm just going to show it to you.
Speaking of Ravens.
Ah! So let's give this a watch.
So,
there's that.
I'm going to describe to you what we're seeing.
Cloudiness.
And there's a cloudiness.
And then here comes Edge. Here he comes.
Oh, yes, in the, he's the one wearing the purple suit, right? He's still doing purple suit guy?
Purple suit guy.
Yep.
It's just so funny. He just looks hilarious.
That's a good graphic, though.
Oh, yeah.
That they've got on that with the big raven. That's actually pretty nice.
Yeah.
So it's all three of them, and then Damian Priest comes in. It's originally Rhea Ripley and Edge, and then Damian Priest just comes randomly walking in like 40 seconds later. That's funny.
Yep.
It's like, oh shit. Rhea Ripley's on it. Rhea Ripley looks badass with this group. She looks like she belongs with this group, man.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, they're definitely doing the unit thing.
Yeah, this fits. And honestly, Rhea Ripley needed somebody like Edge right now. I think this is such a better thing than being teamed up with Liv Morgan. I think this definitely more capitalizes on her potential.
Mm-hmm.
And then right here, oh yeah, pose for the camera. And and there's Edge.
Just
With,
grinning.
you know what gets me about the Edge thing? Because he does the same thing every single time with this. He does the head bob. He just
Yep.
It's like somebody just pushed his head and he just bobbleheads back and forth. He's done that every single time he's been a heel. And it always gets me because he's the only one who does that.
He said to the entire audience of the XL Center, "You're all stupid.
Yeah.
You're all idiots. That's why."
He's not wrong.
And I'm like, oh shoot, Edge.
He's not wrong.
Why you so mean, Edge?
Because he's now the one who says, I've reached a point in my career where I've passed through the higher zenith and have now become the one who casts judgment on whether you survive or whether you get destroyed.
Yep.
But in a style, but Edge, it's scripted material, but Edge makes it good.
Oh yeah.
Edge is there's a reason that he got a role in Vikings.
Yep.
Seasons 5 and 6, he had a recurring character in Vikings. He was on like 4 or 5 seasons of Haven when he was healing up his neck for 7 years.
Yep.
That was, there's a reason he got acting work and was good at it. So he never really knows what he's doing, and then he insults AJ Styles. Mm-hmm. Then we get a little bit from Damian Priest.
The Prince, this guy.
Yeah, who the fuck is that? That might still be Damian Priest. Oh, it's Finn Balor. Oh, okay, so we're skipping a bit here because we had something happen first.
Oh,
Rhea Ripley had a match with Liv Morgan.
Yes, right. Yes, Morgan.
Yes, because they all talk. Like, Priest says the truth hurts, and he's able, now they're able to do something more. Rhea Ripley then talks about being used, and she has unfinished business, which is Liv Morgan. And now she's going to kick the shit out of Liv Morgan.
Which one's the one with the doll?
The doll? Oh, that's Alexa Bliss. We're getting to that.
Oh, did I skip that?
That's Alexa Bliss comes up way later.
Oh, I'm way off.
Yeah.
Nope, different diva.
This is Liv Morgan, who's like that tall, like 4 foot nothing, tiny blonde girl. She doesn't really have much of a gimmick. She's just a tiny blonde girl who's not that good at wrestling.
Yeah, she got destroyed.
Yep, the way that she should have.
Yep, she got destroyed by big giant must go all goth.
Rhea Ripley.
Yep.
That's the way it should be. Always should have been.
Yep.
Let's make that clear, folks. Liv Morgan should never beat Rhea Ripley. Ever.
Yeah.
Ever. But then Finn Balor comes out, and we get a match with Damian Priest.
Yep.
Talk about this match a little bit.
They did their thing, they battled, but I think he lost because of dirty tactics.
So, it seems like Balor runs for the ropes for a dive, but Ripley sacrifices herself and gets in the way of Priest. Balor puts his brakes on, stays in the ring, but turns around to get a spear from Edge, and the referee calls for the bell. It's a disqualification win!
Disqualification win, right.
On Raw.
Edge said, I'm attacking.
I'm gonna go spear you. I don't like wins. I don't like losing. So then AJ runs in, goes out of the way. What was the reaction to AJ Styles?
I think people were excited about it.
Because AJ Styles, it's weird.
Is that this guy?
I think no, that's Finn Balor.
Oh, okay,
that's
that
still
was
Finn
after.
Balor.
Okay.
Yeah, no, this was after the match with Finn Balor and Damian Priest.
Oh, okay.
After the DQ, AJ goes in to start fighting Edge, and then Ripley calls a distraction, and then Judgment Day end up beating AJ again.
Yep, and then they're all sitting there laughing about it.
Ha 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 ha! Commercial.
Okay, and then after commercial, this guy came out.
No, Finn Balor's already been out. He already had his match.
Oh, he had his match already.
Yeah, we're past that.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay.
Because coming up is Kevin Owens.
Phenomenal?
Yeah, there's AJ Styles. That's
Okay.
AJ Styles.
Okay.
What was the reaction to him?
People were excited. Yeah, people were jumping up and cheering. People standing up and taking their video cameras out and film them entering.
Because there's been a lack of returns for AJ recently. You know, I don't feel like the reaction is as like it used to be. Almost feels like he maybe just needs to take some time off and come back. But in any case, it's good to see, you know, and then Judgment Day, you know, the three of them beat up AJ still.
Yep.
And they stand tall and do their laugh and they go to the break. And then we have Kevin Owens and Alpha Academy. That's a backstage segment.
Yep. They did their thing.
Yep. And then the VIP lounge with MVP and Omos.
Now I got a photo of Omos and MVP to make you laugh. So they got the Omos over here, right?
Yeah.
And then, whoops, there they are, right? Let me zoom in.
Yeah, I see him. There he is.
Look at MVP. He looks so funny.
MVP is the best, man. MVP looks like the meme where you get the you know, where the sunglasses, just the digital sunglasses go down and just drop on his face. That's exactly what that looks like.
So they're coming out, they're talking junk, they're doing their thing, and then freaking Bobby Lashley coming out, freaking beating up everybody. F the security, F all of that. He's coming, he's beating everybody up. Everyone's going down. Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped a guy. Another dude came in to talk junk. We should
Cedric
team up.
Alexander.
Hey,
Cedric
hey,
Alexander.
Hey, man, let's be a team. Let's be friends. And MVP's like, I don't want you.
And then Lashley comes out.
Then Lashley comes out.
And he starts just beating them all off.
Hulking up on everybody. Oh my god.
That's Lashley. God, he's so good though.
He's so powerful.
And then they're going to go for more.
Look at Bobby holding this tiny man in the air.
Yeah, that's what I love about Bobby Lashley.
He's about to slam this tiny man.
That's right. That's Bobby Lashley. But then, you know, then they go off with Lashley's about to face off with MVP, but then Cedric jumps on Lashley's back. Lashley slams the shit out of him, and then they all run away. Oh, that poor security guard. Quote unquote security guard.
Getting slammed. Yeah, so they were doing their thing, fighting it out. They ended up escaping.
Yep. And that's how it goes. So it's still not over.
Nope.
This feud is still not over.
Nope.
In both ways, folks. In both ways. So now we get another package with Sonya Deville, who's the big one, who with the sharp-looking nose, and Adam Pearce. And she's under investigation because she is a WWE official.
Oh.
But she's been wrestling recently, so they're doing an investigation.
Uh-oh.
And so then we get Sonya Deville versus Alexa Bliss. Because Sonya Deville was a mystery opponent.
Yep.
Tell us about Alexa Bliss and the doll. Is the doll back?
Yeah, she was carrying it. That's a creepy doll.
What is your feeling about the doll and Alexa Bliss, and what was your thought about that whole deal?
Kind of reminds me of Harley Quinn a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of her whole deal.
The doll.
Yeah.
With the creepy doll. Does she talk for the doll? Is that the thing? Does she speak for the doll?
No, the doll is supposed to be creepy and have mystical powers, man.
Okay.
She's been in therapy for the past 9 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Talking to a therapist about the doll and doing mystical, creepy.
Such a creepy doll.
Yeah. It's great.
That's something.
So, Sonya Deville's contract with WWE, the official, her contract as a WWE official is terminated. So now she's back to being a wrestler. Lily goes on the turnbuckle. They go, welcome. Did the fans really chant welcome back to Alexa Bliss?
No. I don't remember hearing anyone say welcome back.
No, they didn't, Kevin Dunn. No, they didn't.
Welcome back.
They pump in crowd noises and crowd chants.
Oh.
Remember that, folks.
Oh.
Not everything you see and hear is what you actually hear.
Oh, no.
That's right.
Welcome back. I didn't know she left.
I agree.
Shoot.
So then Bliss drops Deville with a DDT, hits a Twisted Bliss, and wins.
Yep.
That's it. And Sonya Deville starts fake crying, and then now we have a match, Kevin Owens versus Ezekiel.
Ezekiel, he's very buff.
Now,
Ezekiel's a very buff naked man.
The story behind this is that
put some clothes on.
Who he is, he used to be Elias with the guitar and the big beard. But they shaved his beard, and now he's like, no, I'm Ezekiel now. And Kevin Owens is like, no, you're not. You're Elias, bro. He's funny. Like, no, I'm Ezekiel now. And Kevin Owens is like, bro, no, you're not. So that's why this match is happening. Did Ezekiel actually come out to crowd commercial? Or to crowd cheering? I think that happened too. Yeah, I think he did. And freaking blonde man, because I think he was saying, you're not Ezekiel. I think he was saying something. Oh, like yes, and Kevin Owens, he's got a blonde wig because... and then he ripped his wig off, and they started fighting. Now, I assume that Kevin Owens also ran down Hartford for being idiots? Yeah. Yep, he did. Yeah. Oh man, that was fun hearing him go off. He was so angry. And then so we get this match, and apparently Chad Gable was there. Mm-hmm. Alpha Academy. Did the big guy Otis come out? Was he there? Can you remember at this point? No, there was Varman. He says, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. So so Chad Gable rushes to the ring, but Zeke. This is my last photo I got of these guys. Of those two, and they're still talking. Yeah, so what happens is, from what he insults the crowd, Zeke's like, nah, but if Elias would come out and like sing a song for y'all, but I'm not Elias right now. He's not available at the moment because he's my brother. Yeah. And and then Gable runs to the ring because Chad Gable and Otis are also like, nah, bro, you're Elias. So Ezekiel hits a boot. Otis comes in, and now Ezekiel gets triple teamed. Otis hits a big splash as Ezekiel's held down. Yes. Alpha Academy holds Ezekiel up, and Owens drops him with a stunner, and then they leave. Trying to brainwash him. No further. We'll try to figure out if they're right. That's right. Then there's a package about Asuka interrupting Becky Lynch a couple weeks ago. Asuka, who is the Japanese lady. Yes, I remember that. Yes. That chick, she was yelling. Stereotypical Japanese screeching woman lady. Yeah, I wish they wouldn't have her do that. Yoko. Yeah! You're right. Asuka is just a Yoko gimmick. There we go. There you go. We figured it out. Becky Lynch comes out, and she's on the package. She's like, I should have a Raw rematch. I need a rematch against Asuka. I can't stand her. Oh. Ah! Where? She's married to Seth Waluigi, in fact. Really? She had a baby. Oh. So then we get Veer Mahan. We get Veer Mahan versus Frank Loman. Yep. As opposed to Biff Loman or Willie Loman. And for those of you Death of a Salesman fan out there, you'll be like, wow, I get that reference, bro. Yeah. So that one's for you, folks. So I'm assuming that this match didn't go on very long. No. That this was kind of just a squash for Veer Mahan. Yep. Big clothesline, gets the cervical clutch for the win. And then the music hits and we go to replay. And then we finally get Cody Rhodes versus Theory. Yep. And look at this intro. Oh, yeah, I don't want to get copyrighted here. That's right. But here comes Cody. Look at that. All America. Look at that pyro, man. The pyro was dope. How did the pyro sound? Did it deafen your ears? It was loud, but it didn't deafen my ears, which was nice. But it was loud. Yeah, I can only imagine what it's like being right in front of that. Yeah. Still a shame. Cody used to come out from underneath the ring during this. It was really cool. Dude. He did it at WrestleMania, and I was like, you know what? I respect that. That looks pretty dope. And so, yeah. Did you do it yet? Did the pop off? No, I don't see the... There we go. There it is. Oh, that was nice. Well, they're treating Cody basically as the top guy now because Roman Reigns is taking time off. So he's now working way less shows on a much lower schedule. So now... Probably has a movie too. Cody, see, that's what I thought. I seem to think that Roman Reigns is going to film a movie. He's doing some kind of movie, maybe. I think so. I mean, they're saying, like, no, he's just going to take, like, a lighter schedule. I'm like, yeah, probably because I know he wants to be part of movies, but, like, I don't know. We'll see what happens with him.
Yep.
He got veneers, so...
They did an ad between Cody's... They did an ad between Cody's entrance and then the other entrance.
Yep, that sounds right.
Like, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, you can do an ad between
How were the fans' response to Cody?
Freaking out. Everybody was freaking out.
Very nice. Now, Cody was on AEW like 6 months ago. He showed up at WrestleMania to wrestle Seth Rollins. So that was like the first defect from AEW to WWE. So that's why he's getting licensed. And he's honestly, the way they've been presenting him, I'm all for this, Cody Rhodes.
Word.
I'm all for this presentation. Let's just see how far they go along with it.
Yep.
But in any case, so what did you think about this match?
I got a little video. This is the only match I actually filmed. We got some.
There we go. A nice flying forearm by Cody. They're moving kind of fast.
Yeah, they're moving. They were doing the things.
I mean, that's modern wrestling presentation. I don't like that as much, but this looks like this was further on in the match.
Yeah, no.
This is definitely further on in the match. So this might be in the middle of Cody's comeback, or trying to be Cody's comeback. And you're right. The arena really did fill up more.
Right.
That's filled up a lot more than I thought it was.
Yeah, everyone.
The initial photos that you said, that zoom out was really helpful.
Yeah.
And now Cody now going for the Cody cutter, right? He's going to try and hit him with that cutter. Yep, I betcha. Why from the top, I don't understand, but... Oh, nope, that's just the moonsault.
Oh, moonsault.
Just getting the moonsault. And another cover and a kick out. But these two can work.
Yeah,
I bet you this match was a good match.
This was a good match. I had a good time watching it.
It might be a Raw main event. It might have a Raw finish, but it was a main event. Oh yeah, speaking of a Raw finish, they gets the disaster kick, hits a Cody cutter. The fans pop as Rhodes looks to put Theory away, and then Seth Rollins shows up and the referee disqualifies him.
Oh yeah, yup, and then Seth Rollins pops. Let me see if I actually caught that.
Another DQ, and they're having another match. Even though with Cody and Rollins, it's going to be good because they can both work.
Like, I thought it was over after this. Hold on. This reversal. Right here. So
what we're seeing here, just as a descriptive, he looks like he's going up for a... Theory's going up, has him in the fireman's carry. And then Cody counters, hits him, goes and ducks, and disaster kick. Yep, there's the disaster kick. Goes up, and Cody cutter. There's the Cody cutter. Yep. And that was right where he was going to get him, but then here comes Seth Rollins. The crowd's actually crowd's getting into this. Yeah, and there's Seth Waluigi.
Yep,
there's Waluigi and disqualification. Yep. Who'd have thought on a Monday Night Raw we'd get 2 DQs on the night?
Oh, yeah, then he just starts beating the crap out of him. You can't fight.
That's right.
I'm the winner.
Seth Rollins, and the crowd is really, mild. I don't even know if they're booing that hard. But, yeah, they're just like, oh, DQ. Again, this is what I'm talking about the smarter fans being there. I love the pan up. I love the pan up to the Tron.
Yeah, this is something.
Even though you can see the action, you still panned up to the Tron to make sure that you can
see what the camera
see what everyone's getting. Yeah, definitely going up. Oh, is this our announce table spot?
Yep.
Cue the announce table spot. Always have to have it.
Yep.
And
hear that?
Yep. Yep. I hear it. So yeah.
Oh man, there was a guy who came out. Cody. There was a guy who came out, and the line he said was, "I have a wife and kids," and I forgot who said that, but someone came out and they're like, "I have a wife and kids."
I think we're gonna get to that.
And then the chants that people were saying were, "He has a wife and kids. He has a wife and kids." He was getting his ass kicked.
I think we're gonna get to that. Yeah, we're definitely gonna get to that.
Geez. But yeah, so that happened.
Yeah, so then that's at 10 o'clock. And then the hits just kept on coming.
And then this mother heifer right here just pops out of nowhere. The freaking Miz is a guest referee.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that.
Did I skip over something?
We're gonna get to yes, we did. We got more women.
Oh yeah, we got the women.
Yeah, we got and I'm sure this was definitely a memorable segment. The women's tag team champions Sasha Banks and Naomi versus Nikki Ass and Doudrop.
Yeah.
What do you think about those names? Those are definitely champions. Those are.
I think they twerked on the stage.
I bet they did. Well, Sasha Banks and Naomi definitely did. Because that's half of their whole thing.
That's their gimmick.
Yeah, well, Naomi's got this thing that's like, I'm going to drop you in my butt. And she literally jumps up and Hits him with the butt, and down they go. It's Naomi. And Sasha Banks is there. I wish you could all see the face I'm looking at right now. He doesn't know what I'm talking about, clearly. So, but you can infer. You can infer. Anyway,
I like the fireworks. The fireworks were cool. Like they went around that was the only pyro that went around the center of the stage, the center projector.
Huh.
The projector just shot out in a circle.
That's cool.
That was really cool. I didn't expect that.
So they did this tag match. I'm not even gonna waste your time with it. Sasha Banks and Naomi won.
Yeah, of course.
They celebrated. Yeah, champions retained.
Yep.
Then head to the ring while Doudrop and Nikki are still there, and then Miz comes and poses, and we go back to commercial.
Yep.
So Miz,
I got some poses for you.
So Miz is the special guest referee. Yeah, that's a good pose.
That one.
Yep. Oh, that's a great one. Send me that one. I want to put that on the show. So folks, at right around here, that's Miz's pose, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you can expect from the Miz.
That's funny.
And then we go back to the break, and Miz is the special guest referee for this match. It's Ciampa versus Mustafa Ali.
Ciampa, Scampa.
So,
Mustafa.
So what did you think about this match?
Ciampa, Mustafa.
Here we go. Yellow versus blue. What is this, Rocket League?
Yeah.
Actually, that's orange, technically, if you want to get into the nitty-gritty details of that.
Yep.
But what was the impression of this match?
It was an interesting match. The Miz, one of the guys was about to win, and the Miz was just like, 1, 2, and then he kicked out. And then the other guy, I don't know which one was which.
I think that's probably the Mustafa Ali is the smaller one with the longer hair. Ciampa's bald.
Okay.
Ciampa's McBaldy.
I didn't get a photo of who actually won that one.
It looks like Ciampa won because the Miz did a short, quick pin. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So Mustafa Ali is the babyface, Ciampa the heel,
yep.
And none of these people should be interacting with each other.
And then after that, it was like...
then we get another package from Lacey Evans. Yep. Which is like, this is my life, and it's sad.
Yo, that.
Tell me about Lacey Evans right now.
I forgot about that. Yeah, so she just came out, and she's just telling her story. We're just sitting there, and we're listening. We're all like, oh.
Yeah, what was the fan reaction to this?
Whoa.
Yeah.
We're all just listening.
Daddy wasn't there.
And she's just like,
take me
I'm
to
strong.
the fair.
I fought through it. Now I'm a champion. And then everybody was just like, yeah, America!
Daddy wasn't there. Yeah, America!
Everybody was just cheering afterwards because they were like, shit, man, damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, and then she left. That was it. That was literally it. Nothing else happened. She just told her story. They're like, woo! And that was it.
That was like a half-hour story because it was like almost 11 o'clock. And then there was another match.
So this taping, or this live show went on realistically like 4 hours. Because there's more to come.
We left after that video, and then the Divas came out to fight. How much was left after that?
That was, well, let me describe it to you. We see what happened with the 24/7 title chase last week and how Dana Brooke said she wants a divorce from Reggie.
Yes, I remember that. No! And she's all like, come on, baby, give me a chance. And she's all like, fuck out of here.
Terrible.
No, get away from me. No, come on, baby.
Why is this happening?
I remember that.
R-Truth is backstage with Dana and Tamina. He asks if they're sure they want to go through with it because both those guys are duds.
He's like, I got your divorce papers too. And then the dude books it. He runs away. You gotta catch me first.
Reggie and Tozawa show up with flowers. Truth serves Reggie the voice papers.
The voice papers.
He serves them the voice papers. He goes to do the same to Tozawa, but Tozawa throws flowers at him, says no, and runs away.
Yup, yes he does. He booked it.
Tamina tells Truth that he has to serve Tozawa with the papers to make it official, which I'm not sure is true.
So he went to chase.
So Truth runs off and chases, and this is fucking stupid.
Super funny.
And then you leave, and the main event was Bianca Belair versus Asuka. And that's how little people care about Asuka. It's not Bianca Belair I like.
We were like, this is still going now. We gotta go.
Yeah, that's... So there you go, folks. There you have it. One match short. And you know what? Skylar's going to be so pissed.
Yeah.
Because Bianca Belair is one of his absolute favorite people.
Oh, no.
Even though Asuka is one of the most hated. It's like one of his favorites versus one of his not favorites. But I'll do a quick breakdown.
I thought Cody Rhodes was the main event.
They should have been.
That's what I thought.
Should have been.
And I thought everything else was like just extra.
So they do this match with Belair and Asuka, and it's another DQ. 3 disqualifications in one Raw. This is Monday Night Raw.
Wow.
This is what Monday Night Raw is. Here's what happens. Asuka struggles to get a triangle, but Belair powers out for a power bomb.
Yeah.
Belair keeps control and goes for the handspring, but Becky attacks at ringside.
Okay.
Becky Lynch, the orange-haired Irish lady. She grabs her hands and then pushes her into the steps, and it's a DQ. Becky Lynch gets booed. Lynch keeps control, talks trash, and then that's the end of Raw.
Damn. Wow.
So to wrap all of this up into a neat little package.
I'm glad we didn't miss much then.
Yeah, not really. It's Monday Night Raw. You could have said you didn't miss anything at all, and you would have been correct.
Damn.
So, before we get into this finish here, because this was a good haul of a show, but we did a good job keeping it to only an hour, considering Skylar and I only usually start at 90 minutes and only get longer from there.
Yep.
Why don't we take this moment before we get to the final part of this describing SmackDown versus Raw, and why don't you tell us a little bit about what's going on in ABPCT?
I was just about to say, man, that venue was so dope. We got to do a show there.
We have to do a show there.
In the future, expect to see us at the XL Center.
That's right. Because you know what? Here's the interesting thing. We have just happened to have acquired some great technology that allows us to go pretty much anywhere and do our thing. And the only way you're going to know what our thing is, besides coming out and seeing us once the tour dates are scheduled, is to listen to the music that's already out there.
Yep, we got a new song coming out.
That's
May
right.
27th.
Because it's time. It's springtime, and you know what that means. I know what that means, and they know what that means.
Oh, yeah.
It means a new era in entertainment has arrived.
Woo.
AB Productions CT, that's us, is proud to bring you and drag you out of the superficial monotony and overproduced, oversimplified modern musical mud pit, which is an accurate description for our competition, wouldn't you say?
I like it.
Yeah. With two, that's us, industry-busting artists springing into action and taking the world by storm.
Bang, bang.
Abizzle, that's him,
Hi.
and White Knux, that's me.
Him.
Hi. Deliver an avant-garde approach to music that blends elements and instruments of a wide number of musical styles, and feel free to add some that I describe here.
Bang, bang.
We got hip-hop, R&B, jazz, funk, rock, house, EDM, so much more. What would you describe the song that's going to come out as? What genre would you say? Is that dance?
A little bit of dance.
Yeah.
A little bit of love.
Little dance, a little bit of love. And it's all coming to you May 27th.
Yep.
The Dropout, which happens to be Abizzle's birthday.
Yep.
On all major streaming platforms. We're talking Spotify. We're talking Apple Music. We're talking SoundCloud.
Yep.
Bandcamp?
Sure.
We spamming on Bandcamp?
Pretty much. Get it on there.
But we will.
We gotta put it on there.
But we can.
We can and we
but
will.
It'll be spun on iHeartRadio has a channel for us now.
Yep.
So there's a lot of different ways you can find us. But May 27th, save the date. That's a Friday.
Yeah.
That you'll be able to listen to that song. It's called Live as One. Live spelled L-I-V, the number 3. As one, as the same as it is before. But in any case, you can listen to that and all of our discography on all of those major streaming platforms. We're talking Bare Min, we're talking Mixed Bag, we're talking Retreat, Recovering, Versus from a College Grad, Rest Stop, The Wax Apocalypse, which we've talked about many, many times on this program. It's all there for you. It's a whole laundry list. And then that's not even talking about our SoundCloud catalog.
Yep. And we got more to come this year, too.
That's right. And more's coming. We've got, I mentioned it before, this is the single, Live as One, to Just a Bit More, available October 14th. Mm-hmm. And somewhere in the mix, we've got another Mixed Bag coming out. Mixed Bag 2, going to be brought to you sometime in the fall. Stay tuned for that. Catch out what we've got. We've got over 100 songs. Yeah. On our catalog right now, including A_B. Let's say you don't want to listen to us specifically. How about some beats? A_B. Another part of the fold, bringing you to beats.
Yep.
And they're good beats. So anything, any mood you might be interested in, we've got something for you. Yep. And there's no comparison to the modern music that's coming out today, because we are new, we are brand. Come join the entertainment revolution with AB Productions CT, link in that description.
Check it out.
We've been known to cure little dick energy.
What?
That's right.
Really?
One of the curative powers. You throw on ABP Banana. We've talked about it before.
There you go.
That's right. And and we have doubled our viewership in 2 years' time. So we're only coming up.
Tell
and we're only going up.
Tell your friends.
So let's keep going. Come join, come be a part of it. So now, let's finish up.
Yep.
With what your perceptions were from SmackDown versus Raw, your overall final takes.
I will definitely have to say that Raw was definitely well better done than SmackDown. Even though they got Roman Reigns and everything, SmackDown feels more like you're coming to a special event kind of thing, but the ads really take you out of it. Where Raw was a very cozy, just like throwdown show, and it was like, oh, it felt more like a wrestling show than like a theatrical performance.
Sure.
Than SmackDown felt. You
Now,
know?
that's so fascinating.
Yeah.
Because you'd think that, with the way that WWE has kind of homogenized their presentation on the television program, where everything is shot the same, the commentary, even though Pat McAfee and Michael Cole are vastly different from Jimmy, Corey, and Byron.
Like, if they put those announcers on Raw, we'd probably have a better show.
Yeah. Yeah, at least, because honestly, Cole's not bad with McAfee, because McAfee's so goddamn good. Pat McAfee is just absolutely incredible. But it's still interesting to hear that with the way that their presentation is, how the format is so drastically different.
Yeah. They're doing
as far as live event is concerned.
Yeah, they're doing something better with live runs. Maybe it could just be the XL Center's program of events. It could just be how they ran the show that night.
Well, it almost feels like that might have to be Fox versus NBC. Maybe there were some things that Fox wanted out of SmackDown that are different than what Raw wants out of SmackDown. Because NBC Universal's had Raw for forever.
I just am so surprised that Fox doesn't have Raw and NBC doesn't have SmackDown. You'd think it'd be the other way around.
Well, the thing is, NBC, USA Network is what Raw started on. So they've had the rights to Raw for forever, except for that one small time when they were on Spike. But then now they're back on, NBC.
I just think of the potential profit from...
They're on the USA Network, technically, which is part of NBC.
It's just like, because Fox is a more conservative network, right?
Yeah.
You'd expect Raw, Red, wrestling.
Well, Fox is a more conservative network. Maybe that's why they had breaks in between the matches. Like, nah, rest up. Rest up and come back and go back on TV and put,
There's so much blue, you wouldn't think.
Yeah.
With Fox, I don't know.
It's, they're trying to change their gimmick.
It's market to that, man.
Yeah.
Market to colors.
Coincidence?
You be the judge.
Well, folks, you be the judge. But not Edge, because he's Judgment Day.
Spear.
Purple suit. And so, that is where we've got. And at this point, AB, this has been a fantastic interview, just hearing everything that you've had to say. You've seen both shows, so now we got to go to an AEW show.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate, you got to go to the third one. The next time they're in Hartford, you got to give them a shot and see how you feel about all those to kind of round out the field here. Yep. See what the competition is putting through. But speaking of competition, next week, NWL, ACPW, major events. But the only way you're going to see the major events is to like, is to share, is to subscribe, and switch that bell button, not from customized, because they won't send you the announcement. You got to switch it to all. You switch it to all, then when we post, we've been on the Monday night train. We've been launching 15 minutes before Monday Night Raw starts, so... You don't need to worry about tonight's Monday Night Raw because you caught last week's Monday Night Raw with Abizzle and your boy, your Colonial Champion, Sean McCarty. But until then, until next week, until the major shows, it's time to go to our first commercial break. AB, thank you so much for being here and giving us your thoughts.
Thanks for having me, man. We'll see y'all next time.
That's right, folks, and we will be right back. Our next time begins right after this.